Hey there, good morning, fellas. Welcome on into the Hump Day edition here of Winning Bets, where we get to hang out every single day, talk our sports, and talk our sports betting as well. I hope your day is off to a good start. We've got a recap to do from yesterday's show, and then dive on into the action where we get another day filled of the Champions League, and then, of course, MLB action getaway day, so the games come nice and early. So we've got to lock in these winners on today's show bright and early for you guys. Let's just jump right on into it. We go ahead and throw up that recap from yesterday. What an unbelievable day, going 6-1 plus 5.08 units. Yeah, that sounds real good. Really overcame our deficit now on the week after our bad Monday of 1-4. We're now positive on the week at plus 2.06 units. Love to see that right there. Boy, how about those Champions League games yesterday, boys? And I don't care if you had two TVs side by side or if you like myself and use the Paramount Plus app and watch both games on the multicast stream. We were absolutely treated yesterday. The two really fantastic games. Let's just take them in order in which they're on the recap there, though. Arsenal, we, of course, got the cash in that game. Team total over 1.5 games. We had Al comment on yesterday's video talking about he didn't understand the Bayern disrespect, going into that game. I hear you, Al. But looking back on that game, I mean, Arsenal done it a little tough right there. Obviously, to their own fault. Let's just look at that first goal that Bayern was able to get, in which, they were dominated for that first 18 minutes. Arsenal picks up a goal in that opening 18 minutes. And then, who are you going to blame more? Are you going to blame David Raya for coming out absurdly too high off the pitch? I mean, he came way out for that ball. Or are you going to fault Gabriel? Because I still think even though David Raya comes out that far, Gabriel should still make the play and, play it back to the keeper. But he kind of panics in that moment. It's like, what the hell are you doing so high up the pitch? So then he tries to play it up, I believe it was to a midfielder, just misses him. I mean, if he can connect that pass, then obviously Bayern don't get the turnover and they don't punish them on that counter. But they do get that turnover from Gabriel and absolutely punish them on the counter. Goretzka and Gnabry obviously finishing off the move right there. I'm going to probably pin more of the blame probably on Raya. Like, what the hell? And that's another thing. You guys have heard me bash goalkeepers, over the years. I really don't understand that big money move. I'm perfectly content with Ramsdale. I don't think he deserves to be displaced as the number one on that team. But yeah, so he makes a big mistake right there. Then obviously they give away the penalty a little bit later on in that first half. Saliba just being a little bit clumsy there. There's enough players in front of Sané. Doesn't really need to make that challenge and kind of throw his leg into him and knocking Sané down. So, Bayern then gets the penalty. Nice conversion there by Harry Kane. Kind of mixed up his repertoire a little bit. Normally he's a step up and smash kind of guy like Mbappe and Rashford. I love how Harry Kane takes his penalties, but mixes it up, gets Raya to go early, and obviously then slots it in coolly the other way. Thankfully for us, Arsenal, I thought their first half was a little bit dominant. Second half, their dominance, kind of tailed off a little bit. It was a little bit more even, in that second half. And thankfully for us, they're able to get that second goal. Trossard gets a ball played into him and just coolly, finishes it. Just a real good hit from him. That's why I like this Arsenal side. And, it's kind of like the same thing of Man City when you're holding on to a team total. It's like, do you want to start Martinelli or do you want to start Trossard? Because, I don't really care. You want to start Havertz or Gabriel Jesus? I don't really care. Like, they just have so much attacking options that can come off that bench. And you see it yesterday with Trossard on just maybe one of the better finishers on that team. Just very nice strike by him. So a cracking of a game, 2-2 game. We'll see what happens now when it goes back to Germany. Yeah, I still think Arsenal, with the way they played overall in that 90 minutes, deserves a little bit of a lead, but it obviously, didn't happen. And obviously, the big penalty yesterday, or the big penalty late in that game with Saka, I could see that one going either way, to be quite honest. He definitely, Neuer makes himself big there, kind of does stick his leg out. Saka also kind of goes into the challenge, so that one was a tough one, I think, either way. What about Real Madrid taking on Man City? How about getting a good cash in that one in the first 14 minutes on both teams to score an over 2.5? Cracker game. Obviously, some great individual efforts. Bernardo Silva starting it off with a great free kick. Real Madrid obviously then battling back, and in the second half you get the strike there by Foden. little bit quiet there in the first half, but extreme amount of quality in that guy right there. Garvial, the teammate, is able to have a nice hit there from the right back. It comes into that game a doubt on whether or not he's going to play, and of course he plays not only the full 90 minutes, but gets a good hit. And then Valverde, very clean on that volley there by Valverde. Just hits it so clean and buries it into the corner. So cracker of a game. You look at the XG in that game, I think Real Madrid was like 0.6 and City was 0.8. I mean, just had spectacular goals in that game, and obviously one that played out how we thought, right? I even think Matt said on yesterday's show that the possession would be 60-40 City Real, and that's exactly what the possession was, 60-40. We'll see what happens now when they go back to Etihad. Obviously, last year, this is where Man City was obviously much better there at home. Winning that game, I can't remember the scoreline, but pretty easy. We'll see if they can do it again. They're still going to have the same problems a week later, stopping Real Madrid on the counter and in transition. So, two great games. Hopefully we get some other great games today, or I guess in our case, from our bets, one relatively snooze fest. But Champions League quarterfinals, boy, really lived up to it yesterday. Really enjoyed that action. Moving on into baseball, we did get paid at lunchtime. I told you to value or supersize that value meal at McDonald's with that Pirates F5 money line. They come through, overcome the early 1-0 deficit, claw back with the home run there to tie it, and eventually tack on a couple more. I believe it was in the fourth inning. Boy, Martin Perez, I just love watching him. I can watch a 0-0 baseball game all day. I love watching a pitcher and Martin Perez. Not going to kill you with the velocity. Was sitting 91, 92 with the fastball, but just painting the black on fastballs, curveballs, breaking ball. All of it was hitting the black. Love to see Martin Perez in basically full control yesterday. Didn't get the win, though. We avoided the bullpen, right? We talked about the bullpen stats. That's why we wanted to just do the F5 money line. We get rewarded all around in that game. Give me the Pirates on the F5 money line. What about Glasnow over 16.5 outs? Hell, he goes 7 strong, strikes out 14. Kept looking at the box score and being like, dude's only throwing like 11 pitches per inning and just racking up strikeouts. You normally don't see a pitch count remain that low when you get 14 strikeouts, but very, very dominant. Not real surprised, right? Though we talk about that Twins offense. We talk about Glasnow. Just an outstanding outing for him. And then, of course, we hit our 2-unit play, our first 2-unit play of the MLB season. Dodgers on the F5 run line. They win at 6-0. You get the big 3-0 lead there in the fourth inning. They add on more runs in the sixth inning to make it a true no-sweat 2-unit cash. First of the MLB season. You'd love to see that. The cashes came again with Acuna over 1.5 total bases. And watching that one, I reminded myself of why I really don't like hitting props. You can just pitch around a guy. Obviously, he gets hit by pitch on his first at-bat. He draws a walk later on. It's just the cash came late. He obviously gets that infield single and gets 2 singles overall. But, man, just not a prop I'm going to play too often. I'm just not a big fan of that one. Our only loss of the day was Yankees on that F5 team total get tripped up. Losing that one on the hook. Had a chance in the fifth inning. Had a runner on second and third, 1 out. So just need a sac fly there by Rizzo. He's unable to get it done. He strikes out. And then Volpe even could get a base hit with 2 outs, obviously, to get us a cash. Had a hell of an at-bat, 10-pitch at-bat. Just battling was Volpe. And in the end, for us, it unfortunately ends up in a fly out to a right field. But an outstanding day, going 6-1 and plus 5.08 units. Obviously, back positive now on the week. Great day yesterday for arbitrage, and we picked up $25 in free bets over at FanDuel, taking advantage of their Dinger Tuesday promo. Ran out of captions, obviously, or characters to put it up on there. So, and then the MLB season, after a rough Friday, rough Monday, the 2 real rough days of the MLB season, obviously with a great day yesterday, able to claw back in the positive range. So hopefully yesterday treated you guys right on your bets as well. We'll hear from you down in the comments section, and then we'll dive on in again the Champions League and Major League Baseball full preview on today. Taylor, what's going on, man? Appreciate the kind words. You tailed that Dodgers run line and the Arsenal team total. Hell yeah, man. Love to see that right there. Love it, Taylor. Keep the wins going today, man. Stay hot, baby. Stay hot. Did you still bet the Nerfy? Yeah, of course I bet Mariners, Blue Jays. I've told everybody, Al, and Al was actually the one that had that Byron comment. I hear you, man. But yeah, I hear you. Man, they look good on the counter. Yeah, definitely still bet the Nerfy. I think I've said it before. I mean, all the leans I give out on payoff pitch, I bet them. Yeah, even tweeted last night was that 4 or 5 legged parlay. We just missed it on the hook there with Kyle Hanner, or not on the hook. Missed the parlay on the hook with losing one leg, but the Kyle Harrison leg had no chance in hell. And I've had people be like, how are you like profitable on parlays? Well, obviously you don't need to hit every parlay, but I also bet all that shit individually too, right? If I'm putting together a 4-legged parlay, I'm betting all 4 legs individual. So I lose the parlay sprinkle, but I don't know if that was a 3 or 4-legged parlay, but I picked up 3 or 4 individual, unit or single plays and putting a unit on each of those. So, but yeah, I bet the Nerfy. You damn right I bet the Nerfy between the Mariners and Blue Jays. It would have been on the card if it wasn't -135, -140. That's just a little too much, for a Nerfy when you're getting obviously the best lineups on both teams. I'm not paying that much. Get it on Monday at -103. Okay, now we're talking. But yeah, that Nerfy cashed nice and easily yesterday. What do you think would be the Nerfy of today, Al? What do you think is going to be the Nerfy of the day? You ain't jumping off that horse anytime soon, my man. Thanks for hanging out with us, Al. Nice to see you again this morning, my man. Let's go ahead and throw up these soccer bets. And boy, after yesterday's 2 cracker of a games, you've seen the odds on these 2 bets go one way in our favor. PSG Barcelona. That bet's now -120. We're locked into a good plus money price. And then Let's Go Dortmund. That's the one where, because of yesterday's cracker of a games, those odds have completely flipped. The under was getting the juice, and it was shaded heavily. Not heavily, but it was more juice on the under. Not anymore. You can go get that bet at plus money now at DraftKings, FanDuel, and now the over is like -125, -130. I obviously still like the reasons of why I like the under. I think it's a little bit of an overreaction to yesterday's game. You got to look at everything individually, and I really still like the under at Let's Go Dortmund. So lock in on that, and then of course PSG Barcelona. Well, both teams score and over 2.5, and then the last one there, you do get a bet on Thursday's bet. I looked that one up about 10 minutes ago. It's now -167. So on the right side of that one, still playable. That's high juice for sure. That's certainly high juice, but maybe for some of you, that's kind of in your wheelhouse. So that's how we go yesterday. What'd you hit there yesterday, Adrian? You got both teams to score on your Tigres, Columbus, and Club America money line. Good hit, man. I remember you dropped that one in the chat yesterday. You're on a little bit of a heater, Adrian. Love to see that. If you had Arsenal money line instead of my bet, tough, man. I mean, just 2 sloppy goals to give away. The first one, tough. Either Reyes sits back and then Gabriel coolly plays it back to him and that plays over, or if Gabriel's able to hit, I don't know, whatever midfielder he tried to pass that ball to, just out of his reach. Tough one. The penalty was just clumsy. And Saka, I don't know. Probably if you're holding on to Arsenal money line, you think Arsenal probably should have gotten that late penalty. If you're, on a Byron double chance, you obviously don't. That's a tough one, that late one there in injury time. Yeah, it's a tough one. Tough one, Adrian. All the way, it's a tough loss, man. You'll bounce back. You'll bounce back today. All right, boys, let's hop on into payoff pitch and talk some baseball. Let's do it. Yo, what's going on, boys? All right, welcome on to the payoff pitch. We, of course, have full MLB previews every single day. You can expect my Nerfy of the day, my favorite long shot of the day. What about some pitching and hitting props? And what about my best bet of the day, right? It's Wednesday. You need a best bet of the day. I've got you covered. Let's go ahead and start it off here with quick hits in the first inning. I just like to give you guys my opening thoughts of the day. And today my opening thoughts are, we got that bounce back we needed, right? We're scuffling a little bit there. We got a monster bounce back day. Within that bounce back day, we hit our first 2-unit play of the MLB season, a no-sweat winner with Dodgers F5 run line. And also yesterday we moved to 5-0 this season on player props. We've got 3-0 on K props, 1-0 on out props, and 1-0 on batter total base props. So doing really good there in the player props. Told you guys those were going to be less volume this season, more pick and choosing. It seems to be working out for us, going 5-0 on that. So let's keep the good times rolling. It's getaway day on the Major League Baseball as teams get up out of town. So the games start early. So with that, let's not waste any time. Let's just jump right on into it. Let's go ahead and just start off with a pick where you're going to be on the over and I'm going to go ahead and be on the under. I already know we're going to be on different sides of this game, so we'll just jump right on into it. Nationals and Giants, everybody's seeing Patrick Corbin and Jordan Hicks, and everybody is on the Giants train, which 2 days in a row we've been banging the table for the Nationals, and the Nationals have rewarded you guys with great plus money hits. Giants can't be minus over 200 up against Patrick Corbin. I don't care if it's Patrick Corbin. I'm going to go ahead and be on the F5 under, which is what I think is going to surprise most people. F5 under 4.5 runs comes in at minus 110 over on BetMGM. You've, of course, got Jordan Hicks. He's on the mound there for the San Francisco Giants, of course, taking on this Nationals offense, which is just league average versus right-handers. The one thing they do is they don't strike out. It worked out good for us against Blake Snell. Kyle Harrison goes way over, and Jordan Hicks has significantly better stuff, than what Kyle Harrison has. Jordan Hicks is going to be hitting 100 miles on not every fastball, but he's going to be hitting 100 on damn near a lot of them. So you can certainly look for Jordan Hicks over 4.5 Ks. He's, of course, one of the plays that we got a cash on earlier this season. If Harrison does it, I like Jordan Hicks to go over 4.5 Ks as well. So look for him just to be dominant against an average offense here in the Nationals versus right-handers. And then Patrick Corbin. Put some goddamn respect on him a little bit. Major League player. Giants ranked 21st in batting average versus left-handers. And they don't really bring a lot of power, which is where Corbin struggles with the home run ball. They only rank 23rd in slugging versus left-handers, and you've got over, I believe it was either just over or damn near right at 100 plate appearances here for the Giants versus left-handed hitting. And before you guys cringe, because I know you hate this bet, this is a good time to remember one of our greatest cashes from last season. It was the Royals and Angels. Angels F5 team total under 2.5. We took the under at plus money, and they were going up against Chris Bubik there, the Royals. Everybody remembered him. We fade that guy up and down till the cows come home. Well, not that night. Not up against a struggling Angels team versus left-handers. We thought that was a major league pitcher, and we thought you're a major leaguer for a reason. You can shine every now and then. That was the spot we're having to shine. We did get a good plus money cash. Corbin does get beat around, but this is an opportunity against a very struggling Giants team versus left-handers where he can piece it together and I think come out here unscathed, relatively speaking. He's been throwing quality outings. And I think he's going to throw another good one today. Add in Jordan Hicks on the other side. He's going to silence the Nationals bats, and that's how you get to an F5 under 4.5. Of course, really terrible bullpens, so just isolate bad bullpens and just focus on these starters and the advantages that they have, I believe, that they have on the mound. I'll take the F5 under 4.5 at minus 110. Let's go ahead and look at another game here and around the bases, our second game of the day, and stay with the F5 angle, but this time let's do the over 5.5 at minus 135. Big number, that's because we're in Coors Field with the Diamondbacks taking on the Rockies. The Diamondbacks, we know, absolutely excel versus left-handed pitching. That's no surprise. We've been talking about that one for a week now. Second best batting average at 289. OPS is 750. Weighted runs created at 104. They are not missing the ball. They only strike out at 14.7%. And obviously the Rockies are facing a left-hander in their own right there in Tommy Henry, where they're about average in left-handers, but we know that this is a repeat pitching matchup here between Henry and Gomer. There were 11 runs scored through the first 5 innings when these guys hooked up in their season opening series. So have a little bit of regression if you want, and there's still plenty of room to cash the over 5.5. Both of these pitchers, if you look at their outs props, is slammed heavy to the under. No sportsbook is expecting these guys to pitch in the 6th inning. They should be getting hit and hit hard early. I like the F5 over 5.5 between the Diamondbacks and Rockies. Again, best price minus 135 over at FanDuel. Let's shut up and pitch now, and let's give out some pitching props as we like to do here in the 3rd inning. Let's just first start in the Mariners series we've talked about every single day, which we know the Nerfy hit. Al did that full game under hit. What was the score yesterday? 5-3? That's probably cash on the hook. I bet that over-under was 8.5 with, what was it, Kirby and Bassett? Maybe it was 7.5 and you lost on the hook. I'm not sure, but that's been an under series. I'm going to go ahead and look at Logan Gilbert at plus money. In fact, it's plus 115 at DraftKings for under 17.5 outs. I mean, just look what this series has happened. His teammate Luis Castillo and George Kirby, they stayed under this line of under 17.5 outs. He's gone under in one of his two starts this season. And then you look at some of the bats here for this lineup. Springer, Alejandro Kirk, and Vlad Guerrero are all hitting 400 off of Logan Gilbert. So you love to see that right there. And then the big thing when you look at pitching is you got to really look at the calendar. They have an off day tomorrow, and we know that that's just a early tool. And something you want to go ahead in an angle that you can most definitely play. So he runs in a little bit of rough spot in the 6th inning. Well, they got an off day. They've also lost, I believe, the first 2 games of this series. So chance for them to avoid the sweep, if I'm recalling correctly. I believe they'll use their bullpen accordingly with this off day. Don't expect him to do something different that his teammates couldn't do. Look for George Kirby to stay under 17.5 outs at a good plus money. And yeah, they are trying to prevent the sweep. So really like that one right there. Let's go ahead and keep the good times rolling. Let's go a couple of pitching props here from this game. Cubs and Padres. I'm doing Kyle Hendricks under 17.5 outs, minus 105. He stayed under in both of his starts this season. He is not looking good earlier on in his season, so easy staying under actually in both of his starts. Cubs are another team that has an off day on Thursday, so you look for that. When you're talking pitching props, it's okay to look ahead to the calendar, and you see that the Cubs are off tomorrow. And then you look at some of the Padres versus right-handers, average to above average. And when you start looking at some of these stats, the one thing they don't do as well is they don't strike out at 20.4%. So I don't believe this is going to be where Hendricks is going to be able to get a lot of strikeouts. So expect the Padres to really work the plate. They're not going to strike out. And again, they're decent to above average in these offensive stats versus right-handers. All right, he hasn't done it all season long. Don't expect him to get it done today. Kyle Hendricks is going to stay under 17.5 outs at minus 105. Within that same game, though, Cubs, they don't strike out, and they are by far better versus right-handers. They've got really good numbers. They're actually a top 5 offense versus right-handers. They hit 282, which is 3rd best. Their OPS of 819 is also top 5. Weighted runs created of 126. Striking out at 20.5%. Dylan Cease has not had 8 or more strikeouts all season long. Look for Dylan Cease to stay under 7.5 Ks. You've got a team that, just like we talked yesterday with Frankie Montas, which stayed under 5.5 Ks at minus 115. The Brewers didn't strike out, but Brewers can hit the ball really stinking good versus right-handers. Same thing here with the Cubs. They don't strike out, and they hit the ball really good. That's a bad combination. Again, he hasn't done it all season, just like Jordan Hicks hasn't. Look for Dylan Cease to stay under 7.5 Ks. One more for you, and we touched on it there and around the bases. Just like Jordan Hicks, over 4.5 Ks. The reason it's not on the card, or you'll find out in the closer, I guess I just told you it's not on the card, is when we played it, we got it at plus money in week 1. And 2, the Nationals don't strike out. I mean, I'm not trying to put my money in, I don't want to say a bad situation, because he's got elite stuff, but you just don't get that great pairing, right, of a guy who's got great strikeout stuff in Hicks and a team that has a relatively high or a high strikeout. You just don't get that in the National. But I bet he goes over 4.5. I mean, if his teammate Harrison did it yesterday, getting I think 8, Hicks has got better stuff. So look for him to go over 4.5 Ks. Minus 135. Too much juice for my liking. Let's go to long shots now. Let's find our favorite dog of the day. This I think has tripped us up this week. I don't know if we've hit a dog yet this week. We've been sprinkling the Nationals, so we've certainly hit some dogs, but our official dog of the day in long shots I don't think has come through. Let's see if the Brewers can get it done today at plus 116 and get the Reds. They've got significantly better hitting advantages when they hit right-handers versus how the Reds hit left-handers. And then you look at the starting pitchers between Miley and Green. I look at Miley, not as good as Martin Perez, but that same profiled pitcher. He's low velocity, really going to look to paint the corners of the plate. Add in with the Reds' struggles versus left-handers, I think he can be successful. And Green should have another tough day. And just like you were on Frankie Montas under 5.5 Ks, do the same thing with Green under 7.5 Ks. He's going to go up against the same Brewers team that is really good versus right-handers, and they don't strike out. So within that, yeah, I do like Green under 7.5 Ks. When we look at bullpen, slight edge to the Brewers, slight edge in FIP, slight edge in whip, and slight edge in opponent's batting average. So I'm getting the better offense. I'm getting slightly the better bullpen. I think the Brewers at plus 116 could be the best dog of the day and give you guys a good plus money cash. Keep swinging. Time to give you guys some hitting props, so let's do that. Just have 4 today. Dialed it back a little bit, but you can't ignore what Ketel Marte has been doing against Austin Gomber. 7 for 18, 2 doubles, 2 home runs. This game's played in Colorado. Yeah, top of the order guy, which you also love, which is actually the deciding factor of why I did Acuna yesterday, because he's top of the order guy, right? You obviously want a lot of plate appearances. Marte's obviously on the road, so they're going to play all 9 innings. Like Marte today up against Gomber. Ozuna and Albies, if you're looking for somebody that can hit Katana, look at either one of those guys. Ozuna hits 455 and Albies hits 600. Manny Machado, we talk about Kyle Hendricks and his struggles. Manny Machado is the one guy you can pluck out of that lineup. He's 7 for 17 against Hendricks. And not only is he got a really good batting average of 7 for 17, he's only struck out once in 17 plate appearances versus Hendricks. So really liking Manny Machado today. And then the last one, if Corbin is going to give up the long ball, Michael Conforto, 10 hits off Corbin. 5 of those 10 hits have gone for the long ball. So look for Conforto today to get it done after the 5th inning. After that, he's going to be the 6th inning guy that knocks Corbin out in the 6th inning. The classic struggle in the 6th inning there for Corbin, because that's kind of like what he does. All right, 6th inning. Go ahead and give you guys my nerfy of the day. We'll just mention it. I'm not even going to give out any stats, but we'll just mention Mariners Blue Jays. We don't need to give out any stats. We've talked about that one the first 2 days. I'm also going to go ahead and throw out Nationals Giants. Nationals are the only team in baseball that haven't scored in the first inning. They're going up against Jordan Hicks again, so you like that. And again, Giants just hitting 222 versus left-handers, slugging 302. Those aren't great numbers. Patrick Corbin, put some goddamn respect. Hasn't given up a run yet in the first inning all season long, albeit small sample size, but he's come out strong in his outings. He's actually been doing good. Remember, took the Reds a 5th inning walk-off home run to hit their F5 team total. He's just kind of what he is. He's a little frustrated with a pitcher to like full-on fade. Be careful today fading Patrick Corbin. I'm going to go ahead and take the nerfy in that game. A little too juicy for my liking, though. It's minus 130. 7th inning, we got to go ahead and give you the best bet of the day. Yesterday's best bet of the day was a 2-unit banger. How can it not be the best bet again today? Not going to go ahead and put 2 units on it today because we don't get Glasnow on the mound. That was the push of why it was a 2-unit play, because you had Glasnow on the mound. But still love it today. You get Bobby Miller on the mound. His outs prop opened at 15.5 at minus 105. I bet it. Was trying to see if we could get it to the show, but it went to 16.5. Now it's back to 15.5, but it's minus 145. Not betting minus 145. On a player prop like that, but like Bobby Miller to go over. If you look at his team or his battery mate there, guy, that's battery mate's not the right word. Chris Paddock, his outs prop is 14.5, so he should get crushed. And then I'm not going to regurgitate the same offensive numbers. I believe the Twins are still bottom of the barrel, right? Yep, still bottom of the barrel. Hell, it went down. I think yesterday they were hitting 155. Today they're hitting 154. And they still strike out a ton. Now, obviously that got elevated after yesterday's 14 Ks, but it's over 30% now. And yesterday it was 28-ish, if I'm recalling correctly. It's just a bad offense. This is one of those, like, whatever your offense can do, my offense can do a lot better. And I'm getting Bobby Miller over Paddock. It's got to be the best bet of the day, boys. Run it back. Dodgers F5 run line. Minus 110 over on DraftKings, I believe, is where we gave it out. All right, double play. I'd like to give you my favorite parlay of the day. Boy, the Rangers tripped everybody up yesterday. I think everybody lost. That was a good. Some days you just, it's like some of those bets you lay off could be some of the best ones. But did you listen on the payoff pitch yesterday? I said Rangers F5 run line. Shit cast in a 2-1 game. And then the bullpen, remember we talked about the Athletics Rangers bullpen. It wasn't really that big of a gap. So you could have gotten a good cash on that F5 run line. Hopefully you went ahead and took that with me yesterday. Parlay of the day, though, is Yankees-Rangers money line parlay. That's why we're talking about the Rangers here. Just see them getting it done here. Cody Bradford's been good. Ross Stripling. Rangers aren't as good versus right-handers versus left-handers, but they're still better, certainly better than the Athletics. The bullpen is still, it's tight. But I like the Rangers to go ahead and get it done. And then the Yankees. They're taking on what? The Marlins today. Marcus Stroman. God damn, Marcus Stroman has been really stinking good. And he's going up against, who was it? Oh yeah, Ryan Weathers. He should just get hit. Yankees have by far the better bullpen. I just really like Aaron Boone. He's one of these managers that just manages it really stinking good. So yeah, I'm getting the starting pitching advantage. I'm getting the hitting advantage. I'm getting the bullpen advantage. Are Yankees off tomorrow? And the Yankees are off tomorrow. Yankees going to pick up the win. Yankees, Rangers, plus 125 on the money line parlay. All right, what bets am I officially on, though? Gave out a bunch of leans, picks. Which ones am I going to officially be on? I'm only going to be on the only two that I tweeted earlier today. I didn't add anything to it. Just looking to go 2-0 in baseball, 2-0 in soccer, and have ourselves a nice day. So Dodgers F5 run line, minus 110. How can you not like that? How can you not like that bet? Holy hell, that Twins offense is laughable how bad they are. And Hendricks under 17.5 outs, minus 105. Going to be the only two bets for today. Bobby Miller over. Did it go back up? See? Did it go back up again? It went back up again. Bobby Miller. It's still 15.5 on DraftKings. I still like it. I mean, it's hard not to like it. Again, this Twins offense is... it is bottom of the barrel. I mean, it's bottom of the barrel, I think, in every stat, average. Bottom in on base percentage. 27th in slugging. Bottom in OPS. Bottom in weighted runs created. And they now strike out the most in Major League Baseball. I mean, you got to think Bobby's going to go deep. I always say if you miss the line and it moves, don't bet it, because we know how sportsbooks are usually bang on with their lines. I would go get that minus 140, the 15.5 on DraftKings. If it's 16.5, it's got to be at plus money. I think he had gone over at one of his two starts, if I'm recalling correctly from the research. He missed it against the Cubs. He got battered versus the Cubs, but then he cashed it. Yeah, he went 6 strong against the Cardinals. There's no reason to think he's not going 6 strong with the Twins struggle. So I would do it, Adrian. I would do it. Sorry that minus 105 price didn't get to the show, but yeah, it'd be like that sometimes. All right, let's go ahead and jump on into the rapid fire. That's on Prize Picks. Yeah, okay. Wait, I mean, hell, the sports books have kind of fluctuated. I don't know, maybe wait. But I like it. Either way. Let's do a little rapid fire, boys. How did my 3 overs yesterday hit? When I did that parlay. What were some of those scores yesterday? I think I was that on the over on Cubs Padres, so it didn't hit. I was the over on Angels Rays, that hit. Can't remember. Let's just get it a rapid fire. All right, boys. Dodgers and Twins over under of 8.5. Dodgers minus 166. Twins plus 140. If I think they're going to be winning the game through the first 5, I certainly think they're going to be winning the game overall. So minus 166. I'd always just take the run line. Again, you don't really want that Twins bullpen. Can they even have a lead with how bad their offense is to get to those really stinking good arms? Because if they get to those good arms, this is done and over with. I mean, that's how really good that Twins bullpen is. So, and they probably haven't thrown any of their good arms in this series, having lost the first 2 games. So that's why I just want to focus. Same thing on yesterday. Why do you want to do a full game price when you lose all the advantages once the starters are out and it becomes a bullpen game? You have no advantages. I mean, you still have to get the hitting advantages, of course, but you lose all your pitching advantages. Yeah, that's why we've been doing the F5s the last couple of days. That's the best bet in that game. Give me Dodgers on the run line, minus 105. Phillies and Cardinals over under of 7.5. Phillies minus 142. Cardinals plus 120. I think the over 7.5 in this one. One of these games have got to pop it over. It's crazy. They don't pitch good enough to keep these games under. So I think the over 7.5 between Phillies and Cardinals. Mariners and Blue Jays over under of 8. This has been the under series. Minus 102 for the Mariners. Blue Jays minus 118. Do the Blue Jays play Thursday? Probably going to go under again. Neither team plays Thursday. They're going to deploy their bullpen accordingly. Mariners are going to avoid the sweep, though, behind Logan Gilbert. Give me them at minus 102. Diamondbacks and Rockies over under of 11, minus 120 for the Diamondbacks. Rockies at even money. That just shows, I think, how really good that F5 overplay is because, I mean, starting pitching obviously plays into it, but the Rockies are decent enough versus left-handers where they're also going to be putting up runs, keeping this game close. I think definitely the best play is the F5 over, but I also like the full game over for sure. Nationals and Giants over under of 8. Nationals plus 170. Giants minus 205. They can't be minus 205. This would be a squirrel value bet of the day for sure on the Nationals plus 170. But are they going to pull off the sweep? This is where if you've gotten your 2 good cashes, you lay off of it. You enjoy the money you've earned on the first 2 days and don't do Nationals again. But Nationals on the run line, minus 125 seems fine. Minus 8. Under 8 for an under. I can't get there when you start looking at the bullpens. There's a reason why we did the F5 under and isolated the bullpens. I'm showing both of them at basically the bottom 7-ish across the board in the stats. So I can't get on board with the full game under. Can't do it. Play will be Nationals run line. Minus 125, plus 1.5 runs. Rays and Angels over under of 9. Rays minus 118. Angels minus 102. I agree with the over. I agree with the over 9. Came through yesterday, 6-4 game. I admittedly don't know who Jose Soriano is. I know who Littell is. Let me look up Soriano real quick. See what handedness he is. Clearly I didn't handicap this game. He's a right-hander. Oh, he's a bullpen guy. So getting a good old bullpen day. Well, I mean, definitely Rays. Still probably like the over. Yeah. I got it. I got a different thing. Yeah. Rays bullpen. Holy hell. Bottom of the barrel. And then there is the Angels bullpen, bottom 10. I go over. Probably a tough game to try and predict the winner in that one. Just stick with the over in that one. White Sox and Guardians over under of 7.5, plus 205 for the White Sox. Guardians are throwing minus 250. White Sox pulled off the win yesterday. Betty versus Bibby. I'll go over 7.5. Cubs and Padres over under of 8. Plus 120 for the Cubs. Padres minus 142. Give me the over here as well. Again, Hendricks isn't going to make it. That Cubs offense is too good. Too good. So give me the over 8 between Hendricks and Cease. Brewers and Reds over under of 8.5. Brewers plus 114. Reds minus 135. Dog of the day. We'll just stick with that pick. Brewers on the money line. Mariners and Yankees plus 180 for the Marlins. Yankees minus 218. Over under of 8.5. This is a tough one because Stroman's been pitching good, but the Marlins didn't have terrible numbers versus right-handers. I mean, they got the 12th best batting average. They've got the 10th best OPS number. Their weighted runs created is league average at 100. They don't strike out at 20.5. If Stroman's a tick off, yeah, not gonna. You can see him get hit because the Marlins are respectable versus right-handers. We know the Yankees. I like the over 8.5 in that game. Give me over 8.5. I think Marlins plus 1.5 it could be a nice play, but Yankees bullpen's just too good for my liking. So I'll just do the over 8.5. And if the Marlins can get 3 runs off Stroman, over is probably going to hit because they'll probably tack on another one, and that's how you get to an over. Orioles and Red Sox over under of 9. Orioles minus 105. Red Sox minus 115. Are you throwing all your money on Jackson Holliday, top prospect in baseball, Matt Holliday's son? The guy is electric. He's going to be making his debut today. Whatever the props are, that guy is really stinking good. Orioles aren't losing his debut. He's going to bring so much juice to that team. Give me Orioles money line, minus 105. Mets and Braves over under of 9.5. Mets plus 136. Braves minus 162. Mets still struggling, or Braves still, man. You would not believe that they have a 157 batting average versus left-handers. That is, yeah, that won't last for long. I think the under, the Mets are still struggling versus right-handers, right? Yeah. I'll take the under, and it's a very surprising under and a very sweaty one. What will it be? Give me the under 9.5. Astros and Royals get this guy Spencer here making his MLB debut, so who the hell knows what you're going to get out of him. But they're favored at -120. Royals are at even money. Yeah, MLB debut. Tough to handicap those kind of games. And then Athletic Rangers. Yeah, I like the Rangers to avoid to bounce back and get the dub. It's an over-under of 9. I actually like the over in that game too. Give me the over 9, but give me Rangers on the money line. That's how we'll do it. All right, boys. Looking to go 2-0 today. Just missed out on that sweep yesterday. Rizzo hits that sac fly. Woo, pull out the full broom on yesterday. But we're pretty close. Let's see if we can't be one better today and get the 4-0 sweep. We've got 2 plays in soccer. We've got 2 plays in baseball. Have yourself a great Wednesday. Appreciate you guys hanging out. Small slate tomorrow in the MLB, but we'll, of course, handicap and talk about it and pluck out some more winners. Enjoy the day, boys. Good luck, and let's cash.